in so many ways that we are really, I think, very, very fortunate to have him as our superintendent. Thank you.
Sandra Rowcliffe and Gina Mashburn. State your name and your address, and you have up to 5 minutes.
Good evening, Madam Chair, excuse me, Board of Education representatives, Dr. McIntyre, and other interested parties here tonight. My name is Sandra Rowcliffe. My home address is 1216 Raintree Road, 37923. As some of you might recall, as far back as 1983, the National Commission on Education documented the decline in the U.S. education system and the need for reform. Even then, our world was changing at an exorbitant rate, and our education system was simply not keeping up, not changing to address the changing needs of its students. By 2004, the American Diploma Project released a report illustrating huge concerns about the real quality and value of a high school diploma. Why? Because the vast majority of high school graduates were not successful after high school. They could not make a living wage, creating a stable living environment for their families. In 2007, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce assessed student proficiency statewide, and Tennessee scored an F because our assessments were telling us a story of smart kids, when in fact our students were not smart kids at all. At least very few were. The truth is that in Tennessee and in Knox County, we were perpetuating a term I take from my friend Jared Bigham, educational malpractice on our children. I blame all of us for this, and there is plenty to go around. But sometimes we just don't know what we don't know, and now we know. Obviously, there was no one reason for the decline, and certainly there would be no silver bullet in the Reformation. However, just a few short weeks ago, Tennessee celebrated the highest gains of any state, according to the National Assessment of Educational Progress. We moved up a total of 22 points. We also got our state report card, and Knox County had its best year ever. We scored A's in overall achievement in all subject areas, and scored 2 A's and 2 B's in academic growth. Is this data? Absolutely it is. It is data that proves that we in Tennessee and in Knox County are doing something right for students. When there was plenty of blame to go around, now there is plenty of praise to be shared. Teachers, I applaud you. Principals, I applaud you. Teaching assistants and classified staff, I applaud you. Great Schools Partnership, I applaud you. Parents, I applaud you. Knox County Schools Administration, I applaud you. Knox County Board of Education, I applaud you. And Dr. McIntyre, I applaud you. My hope is that next year, Tennessee again moves up 22 points. A few short weeks ago, I left a school board meeting energized and excited as I saw and heard positive feedback from impassioned educators, voicing solutions, suggestions, answers to real issues they saw as real problems within their classrooms and our school system. The speakers were articulate, well-spoken, respectful, emotional at times, which for me was quite all right in light of their passion. What I saw in response were actions taken by this board and superintendent, obviously, some happening more quickly than others. Now I am no longer excited or energized by impassioned educators, but concerned, ashamed, and embarrassed by the actions of a Facebook group called the Bats, a group of so-called professionals who use personal attacks, inappropriate cut and paste YouTube videos, denigrating name-calling, and bullying tactics to further their full-fledged lynching mission. I respectfully ask that it stop. I cannot and will not support these actions, In fact, if my own children had engaged in this type of behavior, they would be grounded. Their car keys would be mine. Their cell phones would be mine, and I might even resort to that ever last resort in my home of a good old-fashioned spanking. Clearly, Knox County Schools is not a perfect system. There are issues that require further discussion and action. It will require this community to fully fund and support its teachers, its principals, and all the others working in our schools. However, I respectfully ask this Board of Education to extend Dr. McIntyre's contract so that the work of education reform that has already been begun may continue.
Thank you. Gina Mashburn and then Buzz Thomas. You state your name and address for the record, and you have up to 5 minutes.
I'm Gina Mashburn, 1533 Duncan Road. For the last couple of weeks, I've listened intently to